You know, when I was first coming up and we started, my best friend and I started our business, we would always run into issues, right? I mean, it's just life, especially with starting a business, you just run into things don't work out all the time. And I just remember when a situation would happen, I would like panic, right? And I would focus on the problem, and I would just be so consumed in what just happened and think like it was the end of the world. And I remember I would focus on that problem. And my best friend would always come back with a solution. He would always fix and figure out a problem to get out of, or a solution to get out of this problem. And I remember he would always be the one to come up with the solution. And one day I just asked him, like, how do you come up with all these good ideas and these solutions of how to get out of these problems? And he told me something real simple. He said, when something happens, you go straight for the problem and you get consumed with the problem. And that's all you focus on. And he was telling me, like, when you do that, you don't leave room to find the solution because all your thoughts are going and all your attention is going into the problem. And I remember it stood out to me because I used to focus on that, right? Like something goes wrong and I would just put all of my attention and energy and focus on the problem. And it's like whatever you focus on intensifies. You see more of what you focus on. And I remember once he told me that, like I remember I tried it one time and I was like, all right, I identified what the problem was, and then I tried to look for a solution. And I found the solution way faster than when I just focused on the problem. And I think that was such a huge milestone in my life, just as a man, just growing up as an adult. You know, this was like when I was 17 years old and just trying to, you know, figure all this stuff out. You're trying to figure out life. You're trying to figure out kind of like your place in the world. You're trying to figure out how to navigate through the world. And I remember when I learned that key principle, it just made a huge impact in my life. And then I realized, like, there's always a solution. There's always a solution. You just have to take time to try to find it, right? You have to identify what the problem is and see, okay, this is what the issue is. Now instantly start thinking about how you're gonna fix it and how you're gonna get out of that problem. There's always a solution. You know, sometimes a lot of times it ends up working out better than what you originally thought. You know, you mess something up or something goes wrong and you planned it in your mind this one way, and then you have to do it a different way. But then when you look back, you're like, damn, that way was a lot better doing it that way than originally that I planned for it. So as you guys are just navigating, I know I got a lot of young followers. I know a lot of people are 17, 16, 15. I get a lot of messages from, you know, high school students who are just graduating. And this applies to, you know, any age, but especially for those of you that are just starting and kind of figuring out how to navigate this world, find a solution. There's always a solution. You just have to look for it. Identify what the problem is, see what it is, and then find that solution, because I promise you it will change the way that you operate. It'll change the way that you get things done. It'll change the accomplishments that you're able to achieve. You'll be able to achieve success faster at a faster rate because problems are always gonna come. That's one thing that's guaranteed. Things will never go the way that you plan them out and the way that you hope for it to go. But there's always a solution. So just try to focus on that, focus on the solution, and I promise you, it'll be beneficial for you.